to 14. Also, it credits child restraints with saving about 9,000 lives between 1975 and 2008. Now, a bill in the state legislature is aiming to toughen the safety standards in Arizona. The measure would make it state law for children under the age of 8 and shorter than 4'9" to sit in a booster seat to make the lap and shoulder belt fit properly. Right now, the law only requires children under 5 to be in a booster seat. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration recommends kids as old as 12 be in a booster seat, at least until the shoulder seat belt fits them properly. We're going to show you exactly what that's supposed to look like in just a moment. The federal administration also recommends children under 13 should always sit in the back seat. Child safety recommendations can change each time you have a baby. They've definitely changed since we were all kids. Lissette Martinez, joins us live with more on what parents think about the proposed law. Lissette?
Well, Tram, I think the word of the day here is confusion. A lot of the mothers I spoke with today are overwhelmed with the amount of suggestions out there to keep their children safe inside of their vehicle. And even though they have different opinions about this new measure, they do all agree on one thing. The safety of their children is their #1 priority. Changing the age of a child required to be in a booster seat from 5 to 8 has this mother worried about the potential drama in her household.
They're in the 3rd stage of the booster seat, and, I put them in there, but they do get out. They unbuckle themselves. They're 5 and 6. They know how to get out of their own seats. That's the reality of it.
Shannon says she's even had to bribe and threaten her little ones in order to keep them strapped in.
This is terrible, but I say, do you want mommy to go to jail? You guys need to sit in your seat. Mommy doesn't want to go to jail.
Rachel's son is only 2, not ready for a booster just yet. She doesn't mind the change in the law, but does worry about the potential costs.
My only thought is that if we're talking about car seats and car seats being legally required at different stages, I think that it's important to take into account the financial impact of that on parents, on low-income parents especially.
It wouldn't impact us at all because I still have a 7-year-old that I still put in a booster seat. She's kind of tiny, so we still keep her in a booster seat.
A life-changing car accident has made the Lopez family take safety very seriously. Robin says even the youngest members understand what's at stake.
It was 19 years ago, and I spent a year rehab, learning to walk again. So for my children, they understand how important it is to have your seatbelts on and just being very safe in the car.
Bottom line, says Shannon, no matter how much her children fight her, safety's first, and they'll have to buckle up.
That's scary. It is scary, and that's the reality of it, is that, kids who are improperly seated, they do lose their lives.
Now, House Bill 2154 has been assigned to the House Transportation Committee, so it's in its infancy stage at this point. But here with us today to explain exactly what this bill entails and what we're talking about is Michelle Donati from AAA Arizona. Michelle, thank you very much for being here with us today. We're going to do a little demonstration to show our viewers what we're talking about. And to help us with that part is a friend of the show, 8-year-old Abby. Hi, Abby. Thank you for helping us out today. Abby is sitting in a regular seatbelt as any other adult would be. And Michelle, tell us what we're looking at right now.
So right now, Abby is sitting in an adult seatbelt, and you can see that the chest portion of the safety belt is hitting her close to her neck, and the lap portion is hitting her too high on her stomach. And so what a booster seat is going to do is it's going to elevate Abby so that adult seatbelt can fit her properly. In the event of the crash, she'll be properly protected.
So, and the dangerous part about something like this is when a crash happens, the children can be injured if they're not in the proper seat with the proper belt.
That's correct. So what can happen in a crash where a child's not in an adult seat, in a booster seat, is they can slide out from under the safety belt, or they can sustain serious injury. So it's a very small. It looks like a very small difference, but you can see how much of a difference that safety belt makes. Now it's actually protecting her chest, it's protecting her properly across her lap, and so according to the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, the simple use of a booster seat with an adult seatbelt is going to reduce a child's fatality risk in a crash by as much as 71%.
And those are big numbers, but I also got to tell you that the height requirement has come into question by some moms. On her Facebook page, Brianne Burton said that she does not expect her child to be 4 feet and 9 inches tall because her and her husband are not. And she actually says, I'm only 4 feet 9. Does that mean that I need to be in a booster seat? And this is an adult that we're talking about.
Well, you know, safety belts are designed to fit the majority of Americans who are more than 4 feet 9 inches tall. What this legislation proposes is that we are going to be protecting children who cannot protect themselves.
And nobody can argue with that. As a mom, I can tell you that myself. Thank you very much, Tram. Back to you in the studio.
Lissette, thanks for that. We put several links to more resources on our EVB Live Facebook page, including the national recommendations from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration. And you can also sign up on their website to get alerts if your model of car seat or booster seat is recalled. They also have instructional videos to make sure your seat is installed correctly. I just checked on our EVB Live Facebook page.